Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a review video for you for Aleader water shoes. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid to talk about these shoes, but I was sent a free pair to try out and to make a review video about. Before I start showing you these shoes, I also want to say, don't worry, I am going to go and wash my hands immediately after filming this video. I know some people are very uncomfortable watching YouTubers handle shoes with their hands, shoes that have been worn outside. So there's my little assurance to you that I am going to go and wash my hands before I go and touch everything after handling my dirty shoes. So I got to pick out of a few different designs. I'll get into the designs and the products in a minute, but first I just want to show you these shoes because I'm so excited about them. This is the design that I chose. They're very good looking kind of fabric shoes, and they've got these elastic binding, and they don't have laces. You just kind of pull up the tongue and slip your foot into them. That is what the profile looks like. They are feather light. I'll put on the screen how much they weigh, but that was the first thing I noticed when I opened these shoes, like when I received the package, is how little they weigh. They are just so light and so comfortable. The sole is the special thing about these shoes and what makes them water shoes. So the top is made of a kind of breathable fabric, so you can imagine if you're in and out of water, the water can kind of drain through that quite easily. The sole is where the magic happens. Can you see all of those holes? First of all, the material of the sole is like a squishy, dense foam rubber, kind of reminiscent of Crocs, like slip-on clogs, but much more durable, I feel anyway. So the sole has this foam rubber kind of comfort to it, and then it has these rubber bits there and there for grip. So you can be climbing over rocks or going in and out of rivers or whatever you want to do, and you're still going to have the grip as well as the comfort. And then you can see all of these little holes. The water just drains straight out of those holes if you go in and out of water. You're not going to be going into a stream and then carry on with your walk and be slushing around with water in your shoes. It just drains away completely. So the inside has an insole, and that's also kind of has some perforations, which you can see there. So the insole comes out. First of all, this insole is freaking amazingly comfortable. It has arch support as part of the shoe. You can see a little bit there. It's not like a big bump in there. If you've got fairly flat feet, you're not going to find that it's like a big lump in the shoe or anything, but there's just some gentle support that goes on there that just molds to your feet and makes them so comfy. So the insole comes out, and there you can see right through the shoe. You can see me moving my hand there. So it's got like a mesh inside, so that's just going to drain straight out if you're in and out of water. And then there is the insole, perforated like I said, and with a little bit of arch support. So comfortable. So I filmed some footage when we were away in North Piha. I was over the rocks, I was on the beach, I was going in and out of water. I really wanted to give these shoes a good test and try them out on different terrains, and especially the water part, and they are amazing. But before we went on holiday, I was just wearing them around. I wanted to see how they held up, how comfortable they were. I am kind of obsessed with these shoes, and they are the shoes I reach for the most. I put them on without socks. I just slip them straight onto my feet, and this material is so breezy. Your feet just stay comfortable and cool all of the time. We're between winter and summer. Obviously it's spring that comes between winter and summer, but it's kind of in between weather. One day like today will be quite warm and I'll be in short sleeves and not quite in sandal weather. It's not quite warm enough for that, but then it can be quite changeable and quite cool as well. I've been wearing these shoes and they have just been perfect. In the height of summer when it's super hot, I'll just be barefoot or in jandals or flip-flops or sandals. But for now, these are amazing because they're breezy underneath as well. As you walk about, the air can kind of flow through there, the air flows through there, and you don't end up with sweaty, stinky feet. So while I'm always kind of busy and doing things and gardening and walking on the beach, the most use I'm going to probably get out of these shoes is for every day, and I could not be happier, because for every day they are amazing, and also for adventuring they are amazing. So like I mentioned, we were at North Piha and I decided to give these shoes a good trial and go out on the rocks and on the beach. Initially I was kind of worrying about the sand getting up through these holes. I thought that walking on the sand, as I put pressure on my feet, it's going to force sand through, and if there's that mesh situation and the perforated insoles, I was just going to end up with shoes full of sand. That did not happen. These shoes kind of almost float on the surface of the sand, so that wasn't a concern that I needed to have. They were super comfortable walking on the beach, and also the top, because it's kind of a breezy fabric top, I was also again concerned that sand was just going to filter through, get stuck in the fabric and filter into the shoe, and again that did not happen. So they were quite comfortable walking on the sand. Then we went to a rocky part. Now these rocks were, some of them were quite smooth, but most of them were rough rocks. They were jaggedy, they were different like surface levels. There weren't big flat spaces to walk. There were barnacles and shells and sharp things, and I was cruising over these rocks like they didn't even exist. I was quite comfortable. There was amazing grip from these shoes. I never slipped once on the rocks. I was going up and down steep rocks, I was jumping onto rocks, I was stepping, and they were absolutely fine. Grant was in his Crocs and he was wincing and feeling kind of sharp things poking him through the Crocs, and that didn't happen to me. So I was super happy with the performance walking about on the rocks. And then the last test I wanted to give them was obviously going into the water. There were some rock pools and I was wading in and out of the rock pools and on the sand where the waves kind of washed up between the rocks, and it was definitely a different experience. If you've ever walked into water with shoes on, you know what happens. You walk in, your feet get wet, and then as you're walking out, you're squelching. There's water inside the shoes and your feet are sliding about and it's making a squelchy noise and it's not comfortable. While it wasn't comfortable to have wet shoes on, because I mean at the end of the day it's a fabric top, it's wet on your foot, there was no water in the shoes. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. The water completely drained away the second you lift your foot out of the water. The water just drains out of them. There's no squelching, there's no sliding around in the shoe, and you just have the wet top of the shoe on your foot. Even while wet, they were not super uncomfortable. They didn't chafe and they didn't rub on my feet, and my feet didn't slide around in them. So while it's not pleasant to have wet shoes on your feet, if you are in an environment where you are in and out of the water, you're hiking, you're going through streams, you're on the beach, you're on a boat, and you expect to have wet shoes on your feet, these are the wet shoes to have. I was so impressed with how the water just drained in and out of them so quickly and easily. You don't have to wait for it to happen, it happens as you walk. And also the performance on the rocks with the grip and the complete comfort that I was in as I was walking about on these rocks and climbing up and down. They just ticked all of the boxes for me, plus they're cute. I mean, like I said, this is the design I chose. In the water shoes, there are a few different designs for women, there are designs for men, and there are designs for kids as well. But they also have walking shoes for women, which have this similar sort of material of the sole, but they're not perforated. So it's a more solid sole, it's not going to let water into them, and they are super cute as well. And they also do rain boots for kids, which are adorable. You need to check them out. So if I've sold you guys, I've sold myself, I'm going to buy myself another pair. If I've sold you guys and you want to buy a pair of these shoes, go and check out aleadergear.com. I will leave all the information down below, and you get 15% off your order. So if you guys want to go and check out the website, have a browse and pick out some shoes for yourself, you can get them for 15% off by using the code 1015. All the details will be left down below. And if you're wondering about shipping, shipping is free in the US, and if you spend over $25, it's free wherever you are in the world. Obviously I'm in New Zealand, so check out the products, go and have a look and see if you want to treat yourself to a pair of the most comfortable shoes I have worn in probably years, if not ever. I will definitely be getting more pairs for myself. Check out the rain boots and the walking shoes, maybe that's more up your street. Christmas is coming. I said the C word. I'm not a Christmas fan, but like, let's be practical, it's still gonna come whether you're into Christmas or not. Start thinking ahead, get some gifts, get some Christmas presents sorted, and get a discount at the same time with 15% off. That code, by the way, is valid until December 31st. I'm just looking at these shoes wondering how many pairs are justifiable. I kind of want a pair just to wear in the house because I like to wear shoes in the house. I don't like to be completely barefoot because it freaks me out if I stand in something wet or if there's a crumb. And yes, I clean my house, but sometimes crumbs and wet patches happen. And so I like to have something on my feet. I generally wear Crocs, but I really want to get myself a pair of these, maybe a different design, just for in the house so that the soles stay clean and I'm not tracking dirt into the house, but I can be in super comfort all day long. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing a bit of my adventuring footage from when we were in North Piha. I 100% would recommend these shoes and I hope you'll go and check them out. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.